I'm live. I am live. That's all you need to know. I don't know who is going to be here. Look, this is the very tongue-in-cheek pre-show to the show, which is going to be right before the after show. So that's all I'm doing here. I want to kind of pump up the story for tonight. It's a members only kind of night. So the content you're about to see tonight is for members only, unfortunately. But fortunately for you, you can become a member before it starts. Now, I know there's nobody watching right now. And believe me, that's not a blow to my ego whatsoever. And hey, everybody. I see people lighting up now. I see people are coming in little by little. And John is probably very upset right now. He's shut out. He seems to be I didn't do this through normal conventional streaming methods. Okay, so I'm doing a pre-show which is going to take the nation by storm. Obviously, the most popular show on our channel. And that's what I'm doing here. Like, I think tonight's show is very important and very impactful. Else, I wouldn't come on here and talk about it. I wouldn't sit here and plead with you to consider joining as a member just to watch this show. Kick in the $2.99, $4.99, or $8.99, whatever it is. Because we are busting our tails. John and I are trying to give you the content that you deserve. And very unfortunately, I set this. I did this not through our streaming software. I just did this through YouTube just to see what it would look like. To be honest, and to see what kind of attention it would garner. Tonight's episode, though, John's mastery of the thumbnail is evident once again. Hitchcockian at best, at worst, rather. But it's a great story, not for the people involved, unfortunately. None of our stories usually are great stories for the people involved. But we do have a hand in how we tell the story. And tonight's story is about two people in Ohio who were scammed. I don't want to give away too much of it, but I have to, in a sense. I mean, you could easily Google it as well, but it's two people that were scammed. And you're not going to want to miss this because it ends in the unaliving of somebody. It's just so weird to have to alter my language for a video platform. Like I can't talk about real life things. This all started when we had to use a different term for that thing when the thing was going on, and everybody was, sick with the thing. And then they came out with the thing. So we've had to alter our language, and it's sickening. No pun intended. But we can't, the sniffles. We can't, that's the Arabic spelling of that, John. We can't say what actually happens in real life. We can't say ooting shay if you speak Pig Latin. I'm not a big fan of the term Pig Latin, but if you can't say erder may. You can't say illing k. You can't say You can't even say Atshe Iredfe. You can't talk about Unsgay. You can't talk about Olitsbay. I called them musket balls the other day. We're going to need to come up with code words among our comm center people for what these things are. We're going to have a whole cheat sheet, which is a whole second language. I am so against this. This is reality. Like, the world is real, and musket balls is often cured with St. Joseph's baby aspirin and some other form of witch hazel. Look, we have to alter our language just to not offend a very small section of people, or they will take away our money. Or they will take away our means to make the money. Just ask Better Butter. There is an inspector for everything nowadays, and we can't say what actually happened in the driveway that night or that afternoon. We can't say that the old man took something from his collection of crayons and chased the woman around the car 3 or 4 times before he colored her in. So I'm a little upset about it, because what it does is it kills our engagement, and we can't grow and we can't tell the stories more. And this isn't necessarily about the stories all the time, and it's not necessarily about the monetization, or it's about getting the word out about dispatchers, about 911 people. There are people suffering in this world. And I'm forced to do ads, and I hate it. So in about 11 seconds, whether you're a member or not, you're going to have to suffer through an ad. Make that 4 seconds. Only some of you are going to see the ads. So thank you for showing up to offend us, Tyler. I don't even know if you can hear us. Amy, you tuned in right at the butter reference. Yes, but the butter reference was because you tuned in. That's the secret of that's the secret of our commitment to you. So here's what we're going to need to do, communists or commandos or communicators. No, John and I are the communicators, I guess. Yeah, I'm live, Amy. I couldn't be more live. That's why John's not here. John's not stealing my thunder anymore. I'm tired of John stealing my thunder. Dewey makes it all about him, as John will tell you. He's the least humble human on the planet. And then coming in second is John. They seek the white hot spotlight that is, and if you'll notice, the show is the Comm Center with Drew Breasy. It's written everywhere. Partially just because I need to remember sometimes. John, you'll always be top banana. And I envy your talents. And I don't even know if banana is code for something or not. Could be code for the thing. You'll always have, John is definitely just money hungry. He's a banana. And you'll always have top billing in my, in my heart. Look, I don't know if I can put you on the air, dude. I don't know how to do it. Like, oh, here, hold on a second. Maybe I can do it through YouTube. Hold on. But now you've got me distracted, and this is what I'm saying. Like, can't Drew just handle this on his own? And obviously I can't. I mean, I couldn't do it without those guys. Okay, so John's going to say, right? He didn't even say please. He just demanded to be put on. You know what? Because you didn't say please, I'm not putting you on. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you for being on my side. The Comm Center with John, featuring the pre-show with Drew Breasy. Look, it's going to be on us, and there are more. You know, I keep talking about this incessantly, but this is true today because I spent a bunch of money doing it again. We're updating the website. We're going to a WordPress format, which means I'll be able to update it more frequently, and there's some other things I want to do. You know, I was going to end this with, if you want my shield, here's my shield, and then if you want my piece, here's my piece. I don't know if I'm going to give John the satisfaction of doing that. But what I think we need to do is come up with code words so that if you are a complainant, communicator, what are our 3 levels, John? Oh, God, I wish you were here. Our 3 membership levels. I think we need a key, like a map. I think we need a key so that people who are following along with the stories that we tell, we can speak more freely, because I can't do this on the fly. I can't think about, she slipped on a banana peel that he pulled from his antique banana safe. You know what I'm saying? It gets lost. The message gets lost. And when she slipped on the banana peel, she was unearthed and her soul carried to the Sky Kingdom. Like, what are we doing here? Why can't we just speak English? Corn Papa's a bad dude. I'm just so disappointed in a lot of things. I'm also disappointed in the fact that in another minute there's an ad coming up, because again, we have to do this. It punishes you, the people who are supporting us. Oh, although we're doing, I'm doing this live straight from the app, the native app, which is, you know, I didn't go through StreamYard, which is why John is so angry. John, I'm going to go through Federalist 5 and Federalist 7 if you want to stick around. But we have to do these ads, but it's live. It's for everybody right now. We're doing this for everybody. I'm trying to get people to come in and you know, win them over with my anger and bitterness. Ad coming in 2, 1, go. Some of you are seeing an ad right now. If you're not seeing an ad, please put something in the chat. If you are seeing an ad, thank you for seeing an ad. I see Michael in the chat saying, John, what's the one where you think the government pretty much is corrupt and we should all have about 1/100th of the government that we have? That's Federalist 9. Duh. You know what I'm also sick of, and I can't even say it. Like I was, you know, we it shouldn't be any secret. We hired a YouTube consultant. He's guiding me through some of this process. He's guiding us through some of this process. So I can't say the name of the candidates. I have to say something other than Arnold Day Umtre or Amalike Erishe or Imte Allsway. And there's no guarantee that that's not going to get suppressed. Like if the algo knows Pig Latin, we're all uct fade. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. pipe and smoking is going to be a code word. Mark my words. We're going to have to figure out what put that in your pipe and smoking means. So that's where we're at. I was engaged. I've had a rough couple of days. I got to be honest. John's the only bright spot in my days. And he was 2 days ago. And I got to text with him and Dewey, him and the great Dewey today. Dewey is texting us from beyond the grave. But I've just had a few bad days. Just a lot of consternation. Oh, that's something I can do. Just a lot of consternation. I don't want to talk bad about anything. I don't want to besmirch anybody. But I do want to share with you why I do what I do and why I'm glad that John's along the ride with me, because he keeps it funny. He keeps it fresh, and I keep him out as much as I can. All those wonderful icons you see John did, all of those thumbnails you're seeing, Dewey or John did them. Some of them. I mean, you could tell the ones that are produced by a third grader. Those are the ones I did. Oddly enough, the most popular ones. Sorry, John. Have a seat. I got this DM from somebody. Again, I have to censor my speech because I don't want to give away too much. Somebody who may have worked in an area where I'm familiar with and I had swipe card access. Anyway. Let me try to find the post first. She wrote a post on Facebook, and it was very, like, I could just tell she was overflowing with emotion. And she said, she is an Ispatcher Day. I don't even know if that's legal anymore. She's a 911 all-K-acre day. She says, when you want to curse us and tell us that we're nobodies, when you want to call us other disparaging names and say that we don't care, just remember that just remember, no matter what we will, I'm sorry, I'm butchering this. Just remember, no matter what you say, we will always be there for you. No matter what you say or what you're going through, we're not secretaries. We're not administrative support. We are first responders who suffer with you and celebrate the wins with you. We carry that secondary trauma and all the other traumas, and we don't do it for the pay. At least she doesn't. I'm taking artistic license here. She says, I do it because I genuinely care. And maybe I care too much, but I'll never stop. What I do for a job is such a blessing. I get to help others in their time of need, and I hope to always be able to make my children proud of me. Just don't forget we're humans too. She carries on with, I listened to your loved ones as they called 911. They asked us to hurry, but nothing could be done. The fire was so fast they could not escape. They knew that they were trapped, and they could not find their way. All I could do was sit there, helpless and distraught. I want you to know how brave they were, that they tried and they tried and they fought. It just wasn't meant to be. Other plans were made for them. Now their souls are flying free while this world is still full of sin. My heart broke for them the evening that they were unalived, and they leave a void in many lives that can never be refilled. I'm so sorry for your loss. The pain sure is great. Even he even unalived the dogs. My soul was crushed that day. This job is such a blessing, but sometimes it's such a curse. We thank God for happy endings, and we cry when there's hurt. We're humans here on this side of the line, always help each and every time. But no matter how hard we try, sometimes the outcome is not right, just like the way it happened on that horrible night. Okay, so she wrote a poem to kind of express her feelings. I said something very simple, which was like, thank you for doing what you do, because I believe that. I believe she should be thanked. It's why we're doing this show. One of the reasons why. To highlight voices like hers, to elevate voices like hers. I've got story after story in my DMs, whether on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, of people just like her who are lamenting or who are saying, look, this is what happened to me. This is what they did. So she tells me the other day, I wrote that Facebook post because July 31st, I was on the phone with people trapped in a house fire. Oh, shoot. Sorry. And listened to them D to the I to the E. Then after that, I got called a nobody by someone who informed me that he went to Harvard. Then I got called a bitch and stupid and half-etarded Ray. She says, I hate that word. By someone who clearly just wanted to be a jerk. Then last night I get a call from a lady who was absolutely gutted that her husband just removed himself from the planet with lead muskets coming from a banana. She got to hear that like live, the lady screaming and yelling. Right in the head. Hearing her cry the way she did before she was able to speak, I knew it wouldn't be good. I went home early last night. Sometimes it's just too much. So I'm not telling you that to bring you down, although every time I turn on a camera or a microphone, I seem to bring everybody down, which is fine. I guess I'm here to spread mirth and sadness. I am your guardian angel and your prodding demon. Emonday. But all I'm trying to do in this world is get the message out to elevate the voices of people just like her and people just like John, who do this shit not for the money. I mean, yeah, it's a job, it's a career, and they're not going to do it for free. It's not a volunteer thing. But there is real human suffering happening in that profession. And they are so looked down upon at times. Like other times, I'm really proud of the profession, of my profession, law enforcement and the fire profession, because they're making efforts to follow suit and to elevate the dispatchers into the same realm. How tough is that? What's it going to cost you to call them first responders? So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I was, I'm getting ready to speak at a conference about this very topic. I'm kind of nervous about it, to be honest. There's some nationally recognized people keynoting at that conference, not doing what I'm doing. I'm just teaching a break, or facilitating a breakout session, 2 actually. And there was like a few kind of, I'll just call them bumps, roadblocks, obstructing me from getting to do that. And it's it wears on me. I got to be honest, it wears on me. John, you're not an obstruction. John, you're like a sawhorse. Yes, you're an obstruction, but you're a useful obstruction. I can sit on you every once in a while. You can support the timber. You make sure that there's enough room for the saw to blaze through. But it just wears on you. Like trying to do a silly YouTube channel where you talk about things like this and you're trying to get people to understand about the human suffering part, and the good people like you who are here do understand. You know where I'm coming from. You know where John's coming from, I hope. But man, when things get put in the way, it gets tough. Or when ghosts from your past make an appearance, like missed opportunities from your past make an appearance of what you could have been or what you should have been or whatever, that kind of validate you, there's still a gut punch. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to grow this audience, and I'm here to invigorate tonight's show, which is going to be great. I figured I would give you a pre-show. Take back my life. Then we can roll into the show in 45 minutes. You guys can go get some Pop-Tarts and fake Guinness. Real slancha. We can all watch the show together if you want. You can watch it at your leisure if you're a member. You can join us in the chats like you're doing now. You don't have to. But it's fun when you do. Because I crave the connection. Tells me that there are people out there like me that want to elevate John's voice. John can do it on his own. John's a big boy. But it just tells me that there are people like me that are understanding of what we're doing and why we're doing it. And just trying to get more people to hear it. I'll leave Nicole Ford out of this. But she's a prime example. Sometimes it just gets to be too much, dudes. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can still say that. 80s Lay and Edelman J. But just like a true dispatcher, our hearts will go on because we're all big Celine Dion fans. But you didn't know that. I think I've said all I need to say. I really would like for people to share this link that we have for people to become members. John reminded me a long time ago, and I've yet to acknowledge it, that this drops as an audio podcast. He works really hard on that audio because I'm such a slave driver when it comes to this stuff. And again, this is like, I think John knows where it's coming from. Like it's out of the passion of wanting this to be a good, professional sounding quality product to attract more people. So it drops as an audio podcast. You can share it with your Aunt Sally. And she can listen to it. She doesn't have to be a member for that. There's no doubt in my mind that's 5-star audio tonight. Because it's been blessed by the golden hands of in dulcet ears of John, the main character on the show, who unfortunately does not receive top billing. Was your Aunt Sally, Michael Hendricks says he just saw his Aunt Sally recently, actually. She didn't seem coherent enough to understand what I was saying about a podcast. Michael, if I may, that's why they make earbuds. You just put the earbuds in her in her ears when she's sleeping, and she thinks she's having a fever dream about bad news, Virginia, or she can wake up to the mirth that John brings with his memes. I don't know. I'm a troubled soul, but I've got a great family. And I've got great friends, and I've got you, I hope. So if you would do us the favor of sharing this. I did see a fantastic meme yesterday that said, you know how they have the one where like it's a person that's just like wrecked and they're screaming to God, please stop giving me all that I can handle. And then the next kind of picture is Jesus in his crown of thorns saying, you literally went to a concert on a work night. It's really not that bad. Like, that's not the struggle that people are talking about. I love those two. Fun fact from Michael, his Aunt Sally was married to David Graff's cousin. And he was Tackleberry, as if we didn't know who David Graff was, Michael. He played Tackleberry in the Police Academy series. So there are other questions. One from someone who identifies as Kara Dees, and she's asking if the 8 o'clock show is live. And the answer to that is no. It's not live tonight. We were pre-recorded it the other day in the home studio that John's going to get to partake in. John and I are probably going to shoot some content right here in this studio. So we recorded what I will call Oh, 9:15 is live. The after show is live. This is live. Then there's some show that, that we bookend that gets in the way sometimes. And then the after show is live. I can't say, I say this. Yes, there's an after show tonight. John is walking and breathing. There's an after show. And let me tell you, I don't get to say this. I say this to my wife every time I see it. But that after show theme, I like what John did with his after show theme. I love Dewey's after show theme with the awful way I say, and the dog barking and the people arguing and the mug smashing in the parking lot. I say it out loud every time, like, I effing love that. I think that's brilliant. And this is like, I can't ask for anything more in life than to be surrounded by those two. Not necessarily surrounded by them, but kind of in their presence. They're amazing people. Dewey, God rest his soul, and John are two of the most creative people, and they constantly remind me of how old I actually am. They are constantly reminding me of that. I am quite sure they make fun of me. Then they gaslight me and tell me that they weren't making fun of me. But it's an honor and a pleasure to work with those guys. They really are super creative. And there was this one thing I saw the other day. I was working on like a background for you people. For when we're playing 911 audio, you'll see it tonight. But Dewey painstakingly made this replica of a comm center. And if you'll notice, like little intricate details that probably we never pick up on. There's an actual monitor with the word comm center flashing. And then over here, there's a live police chase going on, which I requested. It's from my former agency. I don't even know if I could say police chase. Then in this monitor next to the police chase, there is just some footage of the movies or films that John and Dewey partook in, created. And there are just some funny scenes in those movies. Like, I don't even know what the audio is. And they're just funny to watch. I love those guys. So, let me see if I can find that. I wouldn't know how to put it up here if I found it, so never mind. If I were in OBS or if I were in StreamYard, I could easily do things, but I did that to shut John out. So, how's everybody doing? Maybe I should check in on you guys. Is there anything I need to know about? I mean, I saw Mike in here. I believe Mike lost his perhaps grandfather. I hope I'm not misspeaking. God rest his soul. Mike Dutcher did. Maybe great grandfather. I don't know. Maybe father. But I don't know if you all saw that. Maybe, and I don't think he minds me putting his business out on the street because he put it on Facebook. I mean, lived a full, hearty life. Guy was a window washer on a tower building in Minnesota, but he was an avid woodworker and carpenter. It's his grandfather. Here's a fun fact for you, because again, I'm here to bring mirth and then immediately quell it with sadness. I never met either of my grandfathers. One of them was straight from Scotland. And the other was, I think, once removed from Ireland. Never got to meet either of them. I was kind of a late baby. Oh, I don't even know if we could say baby now because the DNC is going on. Baby Bay. Breasy. Right. It was spelled different in Scotland, but yeah, it's Scottish for sure. Bone Cold. I don't know how you came up recently. Maybe I was editing something and I saw a comment, but I was like, man, where has that Bone Cold been? And here he is. Just shows up out of nowhere. We waved the Comm Center magic wand and Bone Cold showed up. Thanks for being here, Loren. Thanks for all of you. Mujeres no tiene pollos. The women don't have chicken. Yes, Chaser. I am live right now. Otherwise, that would have been a great guess for me to say that right then at that moment. But yes, I am live at the moment. I am AI. I am an AI model. So whatever you're putting in the chats, I'm just responding to that. So if you tell me a recipe for peach cobbler, I'm sure I'm able to just blurt that out. No, you didn't get the stink eye from Drew. Are you kidding me? I need you guys. I'm here for your support. So I just I just realized, though it doesn't matter, our title, literally the third word into our title, is Illing-K. Conned into Illing-K, part 1. There's a teaser for you. This is actually going to be a two-parter. I'm doing some traveling next week. John's doing some traveling the week after. It's nice to have one in the can, as they say in our business. But there's actually a lot to talk about, and I'll be honest with you. The content drivers on our channel right now of people that you don't know that aren't in our chats and all this other stuff that we're getting the most play from or we're getting the most attention from. Two sources, very odd. One is our Hannah Payne playlist. People love our Hannah Payne content. They're going down the playlist, and there are odd videos that are suggesting it, which is a good sign, I was told today by our consultant. So it's a very good sign. We can't go a week without mentioning Hannah Payne or Sarah Boone or Amanda Neneker, and we've made series out of all three of them. I also created a couple of shorts a couple of months ago that hit 10, 15,000 views or whatever. And then there were there's you can click within YouTube, you can kind of see what the source of, like, why all of a sudden is this back. Like within the last 48 hours, we've had like 200 or 300 views of this one or two shorts that I did. And when you click into it, you see that it's the song, it's the music I picked that drives John insane. When I was doing the editing of our own reels, and I was just when I was like just making my own reels as opposed to allowing Opus Clip to do it, editing them and stuff, I would find trending audio on YouTube, and I'd put that as like an underlying soundtrack to keep your attention. And by the way, they're shorts, not reels, but shorts were meant to pull subscribers in and hopefully retain them. But the short strategy is not necessarily foolproof. Like, people come to our channel to look for the shorts content now, and when they don't see it, they leave. You know what I mean? So there are the smart people like you who love the long form content and the podcast element, which is why we created memberships, by the way, because we don't want to confuse the algorithm. And then we did that. I'm sure that was boring. I'm tired. I'm tuckering John out. But that's just a little insight into what we're doing and why we're doing it. The website, once it I can't. Oh, look at that. I can. Okay. I don't know how to get out of this, but what can you see? See, I can't see you guys now. Oh, now I've done it. Now I've proven John and Dewey right that I am old, because I can't even see myself. Here, let me back out of this. Okay. I don't even know what I was saying. Look, watch the show tonight. Share it with all your friends. There's a lot of football talk going on, which excites me, because whether I'm an NFL fan or not, doesn't matter. It signals that time of year. I'm a fan of that time of year. John calls it the winter solstice. Some call it fall. He may even prefer autumn. I know that I got an alert from Starbucks that the PSLs are available. Who cares? I mean, like, I know people care, but who cares? I don't even know if we could say PSLs. I don't know if that's on the banned list. What would Lenny Bruce say about all of this? Would he say vax? Soon, the true sign of the seasons changing will be here, which is the peppermint stick ice cream available in my Publix. I love that stuff. It reminds me of my dad. See? Mirth to sadness. I will always be king of pain. And by the way, that's the police. So that's apropos, because we're a channel that talks about the police. I don't know. I think I'm worn out. I really think that 9 of you being here was overkill. I didn't expect 9. I didn't expect John to be here. Right. it is a competition because if there were only 9 here, you would not do a show, which does say something about your ability to draw. Oh, there's 8 now. And then also, oh, John's in more pain than me. Well, that's probably why you draw more people than me. I gotta go out and get more pain. I gotta get on this pain. I'm hiring a pain consultant. I could be a pain consultant. John, mark this down. Oh, John. John, mark this down. I'll give you top billing on this one. John and Drew's pain consultant business. We're going to go on Fiverr. And if people are too happy, we're going to bring them down. We still have an idea in the hopper, by the way, that we are going to execute one day. And it has to do with books. That's all I'm going to tell you. The tagline can be, as John just said, everything is worse than you know. So whatever you come up with, like if you call and you're like the phone rings and I'll be like, pain consultants, Drew speaking, John's here. John gets top billing. Go ahead. I just won the lottery, guys. Where's the pain in that? And John and I just look at each other on the Zoom call. And then at the same time, we look at him and we go, taxation is theft. But guess what? You're a victim. You didn't win the lottery. The government won the lottery. It was all arbitrary. And then they pay us part of their lottery winnings. Everything is worse than you know. You'll have no more excuses about your unhappiness because money's not going to fill that empty pit in your soul like you thought all your life. And then I'll piggyback on what John says. Like we'll just tag team the people. Like, do you realize how many relatives are going to be calling you for money? And do you realize that you're going to be in a position where you have to think about like, man, I didn't even have this money yesterday. Why am I so stingy with it? But F them. They were never there for me. They were never at MASH or Hello Dolly when I was in the chorus. They were never in the audience when I was the drummer in Grease. There's a downside to everything, and John and I are here to highlight that downside. I can't do this anymore. I'm going to end the chat, and then I'm going to finish this Guinness, which rhymes. I apologize. Or maybe I'll sip it slowly. And then in 20 minutes, I'm not resigning, regardless of what you hear. I am not turning in my shield, neither my shield nor my peace. But I do want you to be ready for tonight's show because it's a good one. I think it's a very good one. I think it's a very sad story. It's a very sad indictment on society because two very probably kind-hearted people were duped, and it ended in the unaliving of one of them. And I think that's sad. I think it's driven by money, and there's cruelty in that. I got a question here. What did you carry on duty over the years? It always semis or wheel guns? No, I was definitely in the semi-automatic area. I was definitely in the Oh, and there's Canadians involved tonight, by the way. Simple T's. Someone throw the flag up. I was in that transition era. And transition means something totally different nowadays, but most of the older supervisors when I started working had wheel guns still. I always had semi-automatic. You're talking about bananas, I'm sure. John just uses mitts and his wits. Yeah, wheel bananas versus semi-automatic bananas. The peels just peel back on. You know what I'm saying? They just reattach. Hey, Ben. How are you, soul brother? I'm glad you could join us live. Nothing has changed. There's still a show tonight. I just wanted to get on here for a little bit, mainly to torture John, because I did it in a method that wouldn't allow him to get on. So I hope you enjoyed my pre-show. I hope you enjoy the show equally, if not more. And then I hope you stick around for the after show, because that's where the money is made. That's where the laundry gets done. That's where the cooks are in the kitchen. That's where the gardening gets tilled. That's where the tables get turned. Tables. We'll see you tonight. God bless you all. Ben, I hate to dip out. Seems like I'm leaving now that you're here, but that's not the case. But I hope to do this a little bit more some other time when I have the negative energy to do so. Okay. I love you all.